رسول الله صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم. If you remember yesterday, we went through a very important lesson, going through the terminologies. Let's recap before today's lesson. So yesterday we said that certain commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of Sharia and certain prohibitions. Certain things you have to do and certain things you have to abstain from. So the highest level degree of command is what in Sharia? Fard. Compulsory. And the opposite of fard is haram. And what's below fard? Wajib. What's opposite of wajib? Makruh tahreem. And then what's below wajib? Sunnati mu'akkada. And what's the opposite of sunnati mu'akkada? Isa'at. G. MashaAllah. And then what's below sunnati mu'akkada? Sunnati ghayr mu'akkada. And what's opposite of sunnati ghayr mu'akkada? Makruh tanzihi. MashaAllah. And what's below sunnati ghayr mu'akkada? It's nafal mustahab. And what's the opposite of nafal mustahab? Khilaf awla. And what's that which is in between? Mubah. Excellent, mashallah. Now today, it's also an important lesson. We're going to be talking about the Faraid. Okay, Fard is one. And the plural of fard is Faraid. Okay. The compulsory actions of Salah. Now the Faraid of Salah are two types. Okay. Those Faraid which are fulfilled prior to your prayers, okay, they're outside the Salah, and then the rest of them, they are inside the Salah. Now outside Salah, they're altogether 6. And inside Salah, they're altogether 7. Now these ones, in Arabic, there's another term, we call it shara'it, shart, preconditions. Okay, so you need to remember. Okay, so Faraid which are fulfilled before you even start the Salah, those are known as the Faraid outside Salah. And the other term is shart or shara'it, the plural term. Okay, so inshallah today I'm going to give you a glimpse of the shara'it. I think most of you may know the shara'it, but nevertheless it's better to revise and to recap and revisit these rulings inshallah. So as I mentioned, altogether there are 6. The first one, okay, number 1 is, you tell me. Purification. Purification, tahara, excellent. Tahara means cleanliness. To be clean. Okay, second one. Intention, okay. Which is niyyah. Okay, third one. Istiqbal Qibla. MashaAllah. Istiqbal of Qibla. The direction of Qibla. Okay, this one, direction here. Okay, the fourth one. Waqt. Excellent. Time. Waqt. Fifth one, such awrah, excellent, mashallah. The satr is to cover, awrah is a part of the body which needs to be covered, covering the body. Okay. And the sixth one, which is also, no, the sixth one, okay, is basically it's part of outside and inside. Takbir tahrima. Okay, I'm going to go through the basic rulings of each of them, inshallah. So, as regards to tahara, cleanliness, there's two types of cleanliness you need to be aware of. The physical cleanliness, i.e. your clothes, your body, and the place where you're going to be praying your salah, it needs to be clean from all impurities. Yes. So that's the physical impurity. And we have the spiritual impurity, which is not to be in state of hadath. Hadath, i.e. is a term we need to remember. Okay, I'll just write here. Okay, hadath is called this spiritual impurity. Okay, were you able to touch the Quran without wudu? Why not? Because spiritually you're unclean. Even though if you wash your hands hundreds of times, okay, still you will not be allowed to touch the Quran. Because you're spiritually, okay, you're unclean. You're not in that state of tahara. So you need to be in state of wudu and in state of ghusl. Yes, and your clothes, your body, and your place, it needs to be clean. Okay. So it's also be mentioned that जिस जगह नमाज पढ़ना हो उसके पाक होने से मुराद कदम की जगह और मौज़े सुजूद की जगह का पाक होना ज़रूरी है। यानी सजदा करते वक्त बदन के जो आज़ा ज़मीन से लगते हैं उन आज़ा के ज़मीन से लगने की जगह का पाक होना है। So the place meaning the body parts which are to be placed in sujood, your forehead, your nose, your hands, your knees and your feet. Those parts, okay, either part of that land, the ground, it needs to be clean. As regards to satya awrah, now remember, satya awrah, whether in salah, whether you're outside the salah, whether you are home, whether you're outside the home, it is always wajib. You should not uncover yourself unnecessarily. Okay. And even to such an extent, the ulama they mention that when you go to the toilet and when you sit down on the toilet, then you should try and uncover yourself when you're close to sitting down. Okay, don't uncover yourself and then go and sit. Okay, it's part of the haya. Okay, etiquettes of covering your awrah. Okay, so don't expose your awrah unnecessarily. So even if you go to the toilet, sit down close and then expose yourself. And before you get up, try and cover yourself, and then you can get up. किसी के सामने बिना किसी गर्ज सही के तन्हाई में भी खोलना जायज़ नहीं. Without any need, okay, you should not, even if you're on your own, okay, you should not expose your awra. लोगों के सामने नमाज में सतर औरत बिल इज्मा फर्ज है. Okay, the ulama have agreed, okay, that it is fard to cover your awra in front of other people. Yes? So the lads who are playing football, they should be careful that if they were to wear shorts, that they do not uncover the knees. Okay. Same goes with women. That's when they go out, not to uncover themselves. Now, what is the awra for men? You tell me. What is fard to cover for men? From the navel until the knees. Are the knees included? Yes. Is the navel included? No. So just below the belly button, the navel, that's the bottom of it, it begins from there until and including your knees. Okay, all the way around. This is awra. And for women, the entire body except the face, the hands up to the wrists, and the feet up to the ankles. So women have to be very careful, especially in the state of salah. If they were to pray namaz, you lift their hands, okay, the sleeves, okay, shouldn't go down and expose the forearms. Same with the hair, okay, the head and the feet, well, the shins. इतना बारीक कपड़ा कि जिससे बदन चमकता हो सत्र के लिए काफी नहीं. उससे अगर नमाज पढ़ी तो नमाज ना होगी. To cover yourself with such a piece of cloth that the awra becomes visible, and especially for the women. Okay, some women, okay, they wear as we say in Gujarati, okay, dupatta, a scarf. It's so thin, okay, you can see through it. And if they were to cover their hair like that, sorry for the demonstration, and it shows the hair, then such piece of clothing will not cover your awra, and praying namaz in that state, namaz will not be accepted. Is that clear? Okay. Some women also, for example, they wear a dress and then they wear to cover the arms, a thin covering. If it's so thin that the skin color is visible, okay, and if you look carefully, sometimes it's visible, yes, to wear that, okay, for salah is impermissible. Your namaz will not come at all. Your awra will not be covered. मर्द और औरत के मज़कूरा आज़ा सत्र औरत में से किसी एक उज़्व की चौथाई जितना हिस्सा एक रुकन तक यानी 3 मरतबा सुबहान अल्लाह कहने के वक्त की मिक़दार तक खुला रहा तो उसकी नमाज फासिल हो जाएगी. If your awra, such an awra in namaz was uncovered unintentionally, by mistake, through the duration of saying Subhanallah 3 times, roughly 3 seconds. Okay, if a person went to ruku or sajda, okay, and the quarter of the back was exposed in sujood for the duration of saying Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Subhanallah 3 seconds, the salah will break, will not be invalid, invalidated. Okay, same goes with women. For example, if the scarf slid off slightly, okay, and they did not cover it quickly, and it took them at least 3 seconds before they could cover their head properly, then the salah will become invalidated. अगर नमाजी ने मज़कूरा आज़ा में से किसी एक उज़्व की चौथाई क़स्दन intentionally खोली, अगरचे फौरन छुपा लिया, तब भी उसकी नमाज उज़्व की चौथाई के खोलने के वक्त ही फौरन फासिल हो गई. Now, if you were to intentionally expose the awra, okay, if you know in namaz you felt feel scratch, my knees is a bit scratchy. Okay, you expose your awrah intentionally and scratch. As soon as you expose your awrah, your namaz becomes what? Invalid. The first ruling was unintentional. Okay, you're not aware, you didn't do it deliberately. Okay, so if it's, for example, a woman who's praying namaz, sister's praying namaz, and scarf slid off slightly. Okay, so the part of their head was exposed. Very quickly, with one hand, they should try and cover it. Okay, if they were intentionally going to expose, even if it's less than a quarter, just a few strands of the hair. Okay, they feel need of scratching, they expose their hair, their head. Okay, as soon as they do that, their salah will break. अगर नमाज शुरू करते वक्त मज़कूर आज़ा में से किसी उज़्व की चौथाई खुली है, यानी इसी हालत में तकबीर तहमीद अल्लाहु अकबर कही, तो उसकी नमाज शुरू ही ना हुई. Okay, before salah is because one of the conditions before salah. If you begin your salah having your awrah exposed, your salah will not begin at all. Okay, so you have to make sure you cover it properly. Okay, that is to do with tahara and satya awrah. And I think we'll stop here today, inshallah. I'll take any questions regarding tahara and satya awrah. Any questions? कोई सवाल हो पूछ सकते हैं तहारे के सिलसिले में या सत्य awrah के सिलसिले में. The other conditions, inshallah, we'll cover tomorrow. Any other questions you may have?
When you in ihram,
same thing. When you think of ihram, again, you have to be careful. You do not expose your awrah. Okay, you have to be more careful, especially when you sleep in tents. Okay, you should cover properly, have an extra blanket to cover your awrah. Okay, because instead of sleeping, you never know. Okay, the ihram may, slip off, covering the thighs and the knees and all the way down, it's still ihram. So you should be very careful in the state of ihram that you cover your awrah properly. Yeah? But remember, you said of ihram, okay, if your awrah is exposed, it doesn't mean that you have to be ihram. Rather, you're even allowed to have a shower. Again, the conditions and all that will be covered in the seminars of Hajj. Even you're allowed to exchange, so you get a new ihram. Okay, wear a new one. Okay, you can swap it. But obviously in namaz, you have to, so in salah, for example, make sure that the bottom part of the ihram is covering at least a navel and tie it properly. Okay, because when you say Allah, sometimes for some of the ihram so low, you assure that the navel, everything, the bottom part of the stomach is exposed. So namaz will not even count. Yeah? So at the time of Hajj, that's the time of the ibadah. Okay, you increase the ibadah, but unfortunately because of lack of knowledge, okay, tahara, cleanliness. Okay, talk about cleanliness, for example, when you go to the toilet. Okay? Sometimes the urine drops are still in there. So you have to wait till the last drop, there's no urge of any drops coming out. So sometimes you have to stamp your feet, you have to cough, you have to walk, you have to wait a couple of minutes. Okay? So you have to be very careful. Instead of ihram, okay, because you don't wear underwear, there's a possibility the impurity will go directly into the ihram. So all these rulings you need to be covered before you even go to Hajj. You need to know how to remain clean. Yes? So this is very important.
So with regards to the urine drops, that's a big one, I think. That's not really covered.
Urine drops, again, do you know istinja and istibara? These two words. Istinja is when you wash yourself after answering the call of nature. But then you have to wait, especially for the men. Okay, because we have a long tube from the bladder until it comes out. So because a long journey for the urine to come out, there's a possibility there might be a few drops. Okay, so you have to wait, you have to press your stomach. Okay, you have to cough. Okay, stamp your feet. do some press-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, do anything, okay? That will help to release those drops that are left behind. Yes? Till you're content, now I'm fine. So for some it'll be a couple of minutes, for some it'll be 10 minutes. Yeah? And if in Salah, we're playing Salah and you're going to ruku, okay? Now because you're applying that pressure, there's a possibility a few drops may have come out. Yes? Now your Salah will break, your wudu will break. Yes? So you have to go and redo your... Now one thing to remember is regarding urine drops. If 1 or 2 drops have touched your underwear, it's not possible for you to change your underwear. The only time you have to wash the impurity when impurity size of a dirham. Now dirham, subhanallah. No, I was thinking to put this into Ganda, but it's a good thing I left him up. Okay, I'll do it after. Okay, size of 50 pence, 2 pounds. Okay, the inside of the inner palm, that much. This much of urine or flowing blood or any impurity, if it is liquid and goes onto a piece of clothing or body, if it's a size of a 50 pence, 2 pound coin or more, okay, it becomes foul for you to wash it. Without washing it, your salah will not count. 1 or 2 drops of urine, if it falls onto it, you can do a wudu, but it's not necessarily foul for you to wash it off. It's sunnah. So your namaz will be accepted.
We still wash yourself, obviously.
Obviously, you have to try and wash it off. Okay? But it's not necessary. Is that clear? No?
It's important.
It's important.
There's nothing the men ask, does the men have bars?
Yes, istibrak nana'i zaruri hai. You know, especially Imam, that's why, why is Imam keep going to wudu? Because when I come, I pray my sunnahs, and then I feel there's a possibility. So Imam is a big responsibility, isn't it? So leading the prayer of everyone. So if his wudu is not accepted, okay, your namaz will not be accepted. So it's a big responsibility, Imam, to know these rulings. Whether it's leading Tarawih as an Imam or leading Janazah, any prayer, okay? So that is what sometimes, so have that leniency for the Imam. Okay, Imam said it was a possibility, Imam said, late, it's only 5 minutes over. Okay, you should have to do that. Okay, you have to give that leniency for the Imam because of these rulings. Yes? Yeah?
As far as breaking wuzu is concerned, how much blood in your saliva breaks it? Is it the mass in terms of the dirham, size of the dirham, or is it the actual color?
Okay, in terms of saliva, this is going to be the last question. In terms of saliva, there are 3 states. Okay, so for example, we've got bleeding gums. There's going to be 3 different colors. One is going to be very pale color, one is going to be yellow, and the last one is going to be red. Okay? When you spit, okay, if it's pale, or you see one tiny dot of blood, okay, this will not break your wudu. Okay? If it's half, so that's when it's yellow, okay, or when it's red. But these 2 will break your wudu. So the spit and the spittle, okay, or you see the blood has overcome the saliva, is more of saliva, or the color of the spittle is orangey, red, yellowy color, okay, then you know it's low, blood has come out, this will break your wudu. Now, if you were to cut yourself, you have a paper cut, and the blood comes to the surface, it's only red, but it doesn't flow, this blood will not break your wudu. So if you got paper cut, you cut yourself, you fell, you cut yourself in the knee or on your foot, okay, and the redness appeared, its wetness appeared, but it didn't flow, this will not break your wudu. The only time blood will break your wudu when it's damim of mas'ud. when it's flowing blood. When it moves from its place, okay, that's when your wudu will break. Inshallah. So hopefully, inshallah, this covered Allahumma salli inshallah. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina wa maulana Muhammadin ma'adin al-jud wal-karam wa alihi wa sahbihi wa barik wa sallim. جزا الله عنا سيدنا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وأهله. اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم افتح علينا حكمتك وانشر علينا رحمتك يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد معدن الجود والكرم وآله وصحبه وبارك وسلم بفضل سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله.